At first glance, Darlow Ridge looks like any other small town tucked away in the Pacific Northwest: quiet streets, an old diner, a leaning church steeple, and a gas station where time seems to stand still. But behind the calm, something is very, very wrong. Every day, at exactly 6:13 a.m., the town freezes. Not figuratively. Not metaphorically. Physically. And for 5 minutes, nothing moves. Not a soul. Not a bird in flight. Not even a single blink. Over the years, travelers, journalists, and curious strangers have vanished without a trace. Footage, photos, and eyewitness accounts suggest a force beyond comprehension is at play, something that bends time itself. Tonight, we're diving into the chilling mystery of Darlow Ridge. The town where time doesn't just stop, it traps you forever. At first glance, Darlow Ridge looks like any other small town tucked away in the backroads of the Pacific Northwest. Population, 1,743. A few streets, a diner that serves the same menu it's had since the 70s, a church steeple that leans just slightly to the left, and a single gas station where time seems to stand still. But in Darlow Ridge, that phrase isn't just an expression. It's a rule. Because every day, just as the sun breaks over the ridge, at exactly 6:13 a.m., the entire town freezes. Not figuratively. Not metaphorically. Physically. For 5 full minutes, no one moves, no one speaks, no one even blinks. And when the clock ticks to 6:18, life resumes, like nothing happened. At least, that's what the rumors say. Most people don't believe it. It sounds like one of those creepy folklore tales invented to keep kids from wandering off, or to spook tourists. But over the past decade, there have been more than a dozen missing person reports linked to that quiet little town: travelers passing through, journalists, YouTubers, urban explorers. They all go in, and none of them come out. It's one of those stories the internet chews on from time to time. Posts pop up on Reddit threads about haunted towns you shouldn't visit. A few blurry photos circulate: Main Street under a misty sky, empty, not a soul in sight. And there's one grainy video, only 10 seconds long, that people claim shows a man frozen mid-step, a bird hovering motionless above him. The video was uploaded in 2017 by a travel vlogger named Alex Rains. He went missing the next day. No one's been able to verify if the footage is real. But everything that's happened in Darlow Ridge since then points to something deeply, disturbingly wrong. Let's start from the beginning. Darlow Ridge was founded in 1883 by a man named Samuel Darlow, a railroad engineer who supposedly chose the site because of the unusually still air of the valley. Early newspaper archives described strange stories even then: farmers reporting that their livestock froze in place at dawn, or that the sun would seem to hang motionless for several seconds above the horizon before rising. In 1912, a geologist from the University of Washington, Dr. Ernest Heller, spent a month in Darlow Ridge studying magnetic fields. He sent 3 letters home during his stay. The first was enthusiastic, the second confused, and the third never reached its destination. His journal, found decades later in an attic, contained one final entry dated June 21, 1912. 6:13 a.m. The ridge hums. They stop. I think it's not the town, it's the earth beneath it. After that, his name vanished from all university records. Now, fast forward to 2015. That's when Rachel Klein, a regional reporter for a Portland newspaper, decided to do a feature on strange small towns. She was known for digging into urban myths, debunking ghost stories with logic and evidence. Darlow Ridge was supposed to be just another easy assignment. She checked into the only motel in town, the Ridgeview Inn. Her last confirmed call was to her editor the night before her disappearance. She said, and I quote, "Something's happening here. I think I know when." Her car was found 3 days later, parked perfectly outside her motel room, the keys still in the ignition. Inside her room, police found her laptop open and recording. The video file, titled Sunrise Test, was corrupted. But the audio wasn't. The recording begins at 6:12 a.m. You can hear the faint sound of birds, a car engine somewhere in the distance, and Rachel breathing softly. Then, at 6:13, there's a sound, a low hum, like an electrical surge. And then, silence. No wind, no footsteps, no birds. Just the faint static of her microphone for exactly 5 minutes. At 6:18, there's a single gasp, like someone waking from a nightmare, and then the recording ends. The investigation that followed went nowhere. Locals claimed she left early that morning. Others said they never saw her at all. The sheriff's department chalked it up to an accidental disappearance. Case closed. But after Rachel's story made the rounds online, Darlow Ridge became an obsession for certain corners of the internet, conspiracy forums, paranormal podcasts, even a few amateur investigators. One of them was Tom Everett. Tom wasn't a journalist. He was a retired radio technician who had a habit of chasing down weird frequencies. He believed some locations emitted low-band vibrations that could trap energy, or even time itself. In 2018, he loaded up his old van with recording equipment and drove to Darlow Ridge to catch the hum, as he called it. His blog documented everything for 3 days: static readings, weather patterns, interviews with locals. The people he talked to were polite but evasive. They all seemed off. One post describes a waitress who served him pie at the diner without ever blinking. Another mentions that the clock above the counter was stuck at 6:13, permanently. His final entry was dated July 9, 2018. It reads, "I think I understand now. It's not that they stop because of the time. The time stops because of them. They're the anchor. And once you've seen it happen, you become part of it too." His van was discovered months later, just off the main road, battery dead, all the recording equipment missing. Inside, police found one photo taped to the dashboard. It showed the town square, completely still. In the center of the frame stood Tom himself, mid-step, eyes open, mouth slightly parted, as if frozen in motion. Authorities dismissed it as digital manipulation. But those who saw the original claimed the photo had depth, like he was really there, behind the glass. Over the years, Darlow Ridge has been scrubbed from most GPS systems. If you search for it now, you'll only get a pin somewhere in the Cascades marked "Location Unavailable." Locals in nearby counties refuse to talk about it. Even delivery services avoid that stretch of highway. But the strangest detail of all: every missing person case linked to Darlow Ridge shares one thing in common: the timestamp of their last known activity. Every text message, every uploaded file, every voicemail, 6:18 a.m. The exact moment the town comes back to life. Some people online have tried to map out patterns, solar cycles, electromagnetic fluctuations, even seismic activity, but nothing explains it. Nothing rational, anyway. There's a theory that Darlow Ridge sits on a kind of temporal fault line, where time doesn't flow evenly. That at sunrise, for 5 minutes, reality itself pauses. The people who live there have somehow adapted to it. But outsiders, they don't come back because they can't restart once the pause ends. It's like being caught between frames of film, stuck forever in the space between seconds. A few months ago, an anonymous post appeared on a dark web forum for missing person investigations. The user claimed to be a delivery driver who'd made a drop near the ridge. He said he saw the town from a distance just before dawn. It looked normal, he wrote, but the light wasn't right. The sun hung over the ridge like someone was holding it there. Everything shimmered. And then, it all went still. Not quiet. Still. Like a photograph. He said he turned his truck around and never went back. The post was deleted an hour later. Sometimes I wonder if stories like these are just modern folklore, ghost tales for the internet age. But then there are moments that make you question what's possible. Like a few weeks ago, when a small package arrived at the Portland Police Evidence Center. No return address. Inside was an old pocket watch, stopped permanently at 6:13. Alongside it was a note in shaky handwriting. I've been awake for 5 minutes for 7 years. Please don't come here. The handwriting matched Rachel Klein's. Authorities are still investigating that one. The truth is, maybe we'll never know what really happens in Darlow Ridge. Maybe it's something scientific we just don't understand yet. Or maybe it's something older, something that's been holding its breath since the day the town was built. But if you ever find yourself driving those back roads near the Cascades, and your GPS goes blank, and the world feels too quiet, don't stop to check your watch. Because if you look up, and the sun is just beginning to rise, you're already too late.